Hello friends, welcome to Helping Testers. So we have already seen how we can launch a JMeter on a machine. Now let's do one thing. Let's open the JMeter GUI and let's study what all the different components of JMeter are. Just give an overview. Though we'll be studying all these in later sections, but we should get an idea before we start the JMeter. So I will go to my JMeter folder, go to my lif folder, and I will click on JMeter's Windows batch file. Okay, so JMeter is installed and launched. Let me increase the view. Okay, perfect. So this is the default. When you launch the JMeter first time, you will find all these options. Now, on the left panel, you will find two options. According to options, there can be many options in JMeter on the left panel. As you select the left panel, the respectively right panel would be changed accordingly. If I click on test plan, right panel will represent all the features in the test plan. If I click on a workbench, all the features would be giving are of workbench. So what is this test plan and workbench? For one JMeter file script, there would be one test plan. So test plan, in simple words, you can consider it as a container for the JMeter script. So one JMeter script can have maximum of one test plan. So you can also consider it as a root of your JMeter test plan. So it is a basic component. All the test cases, test scenarios, reports, etc. all those stuff would be coming inside a test plan. Workbench. Workbench is a temporary location, or you can say is your rough notebook. So whatever activity you are performing, which you want to do it rough, you don't want to save it in your test script. Suppose you were making a test script here and you want to check something, record something, so you can use your workbench. It's a temporary location, and all those stuff which is present under workbench is not saved in a script. Now, how we can save our script? Under the file, you will find an option for save test plan. Click on it, and what you can do, you can select any location. Let's say I want to save on a desktop, and I want to save it as a test template. Or let me go to a file, let's say JMeter videos, and under this overview of JMeter, let me save it as overview JMeter. You will find that the JMeter scripts are saved in the extension of .jmx file. It's the extension for JMeter, and you can click on save. If you go to JMeter videos and overview of JMeter, you can find this jmeter.jmx. You can open this as well. You can just go to open. You can select your file and you can click on open, so that file would be loaded. Now, in the test plan, if you right click, you will find these options: threads, test fragments, config elements, and all these options. Let's give an overview what these are. Threads. Now, how the JMeter works. JMeter is used for performance testing. You have one website, you can easily test that any user comes to a website, how it will behave. Now, if I say, okay, you need to perform or you need to check how your website would behave when I put a load of 100 users. So if you don't have knowledge of any performance testing tool, or let's say, what you will do, you will open 100 browser instance and you will open that website, and then you'll be checking now how the website is responding on each browser. Same behavior is automated by JMeter. So what JMeter does, it will create virtual users, create 100 virtual users and launch the website and try to hit that website, that URL. So JMeter works the similar way. What it does, it creates that number of virtual users. You would be testing with real users. JMeter generates the virtual users. If you have knowledge, some knowledge of Java, you would know that JMeter creates multiple threads. There is a threading concepts in Java. So JMeter works by creating the multiple threads. So you can add a thread group here. Inside a test plan, you can say that in my test scenario, I want to test with, let's say, one user. So you can write here a thread name as your scenario or whatever. For the sake of learning that what it is, we won't name it. We will keep it as a thread group only. All right. Inside a thread group, if I click on thread group, let's say this is my test case. So what I need to do in a test case, I will right click and I will tell it. You will find these options. All these options are similar. You can do it in test plan as well. Okay. But in a test plan, we can have multiple thread groups. Okay. So this is your test case scenario 1. This is test scenario 2. So let's see what you can do in this test scenarios. One is logic controllers. If you have worked on any programming language, you must be knowing what is the concept of looping. So there can be cases when you want to do a activity n number of times. You want to check logically that if the condition is true, perform this activity. If the condition is false, do this activity. Or there can be any number of loopings and functions, statements you want to do. So for this, we have the logic controllers. That is if controller. That is, if any activity you want to do, let's say if user is login, then only go to home page. If user is not login, go to the login page. So you can perform all these type of activities using the if controller. You will see the hierarchy here. Under the test plan, I have added 2 thread group, and in this thread group, I have if controller. If I minimize it, you see it is inside this thread group, first thread group. Let's see, the logic controllers are the looping. Second is config elements. When you hit any website, so you must have to manage your cache, you have to manage your cookies. There are some configuration settings. So all those configuration settings, when you are accessing any URL or you want to do performance testing on any of the server, so any of those configuration items you need to do can be handled by this config element. So you can select any of these. Let's say I said HTTP cache request. So this is my controller, this is my configuration element. Let's see next. So we have seen logic controllers, config, timers. What are timers? If I say that you need to do a performance testing of Facebook, so you can easily say that how we will be doing. We will put a load of, let's say, 1000 users to Facebook and we'll be seeing how the website is responding. That is perfectly right. But will it be in the real scenario? Will in the real scenario all the 1000 users would be opening the Facebook at the same time? Will all the users will be seeing their friend list at the same time? So they won't be doing all those stuff at the same time. There must be some gaps in between, time lapses between. Let's say those 1000 users would be hitting the website, let's say in 10 minutes. So there are some real traffic. Real traffic does not go at a jump that at 8 o'clock there would be 1000 users. No. It would be that between 8 and 8:10 there would be 1000 users. Some would be opening profile page, some would be visiting some another profile, some will be seeing their friend request. So it would be scattered. Out of those 1000 users, I think only 2 or 3 would be opening their settings space and would be editing their settings on Facebook. So what the JMeter helps to produce this real traffic. This real traffic is produced with the help of logic controllers and timers. So through this option, you can add a timer. Let's say constant timer, we add it. Let's see for the next one, preprocessors and post-processors. So whenever you are doing any activity, for example, you are hitting a website or something, so any activity you want to do before it and any activity you want to do after it is known as preprocessor and post-processor. If you are aware of the Selenium, so you will find, or any of the framework, you will find there are options of, let's say in TestNG we have @before test, @after test. So it is similar one, pre-test, preprocessor and post-processors. Suppose you want to let's say hit a website. So in the preprocessor, what you want to do, you want to open a browser. In a post-processor, you want to close a browser. It's just a random, we'll be taking it what really does later on, but for understanding, for simple concept, preprocessor is any activity you want to before doing any request, or post-processor you want to do any activity after doing any request. So let us add any preprocessor, let's add any post-processor. Samplers are doing the real work. You are hitting a website, you are doing FTP downloads, you are connecting with the database server. So any request, samplers are the requests which are actually working. You are opening a website, HTTP request you can handle with this. So samplers are really working. They are usually executing the scenarios. Let's add HTTP request. Next you will find assertions. So if you have worked with any of the automation tool, why is the automation tool very successful? The reason is when you are manually testing it, you have to check every time whether the result we have received is right or wrong. The benefit of automation tool is you put an assertion. So whenever the result comes, you can check whether the answer is true or false, so it can automatically pass or fail. For example, when you do login, you put an assertion that on the next screen, if it is the home screen, so the test cases pass. If the assertion is, if the screen comes is an error screen, then the test case fails because the user is not logged in. So those are known as assertions in which we verify our results. So similarly, JMeter also provide a number of assertions by which we can check our responses and we can pass fail our test cases. Similarly, listeners, so we have reports. So in JMeter we call them as listeners. The reason is JMeter is always listening all the scripts and it generates the reports. So we call them as listeners in JMeter. So let's add anything. So these are all type of components we can add in JMeter and we can prepare our scripts. So these are all related to my one test case. You can see here. So I can use permutation combination of these and I can prepare various scripts as per my scenarios and I can execute them. Just a small brief again. Test plan, it is a container which is only single present inside one test script. It holds all the components of JMeter inside it. Workbench, it's a type of rough work area. It is not saved in the script file. JMeter script files are saved in the extension of .jmx. Thread groups creates the virtual users for our performance testing. Under a thread group, you can add logic controllers. Logic controllers controls the logic looping concepts so that your website or your JMeter can produce the real traffic. Config elements, any configuration you want to do for your request, you want to clear the cache or something. Timers to provide or make real life scenarios to wait for, let's say, 10 seconds before hitting this URL and these type of stuffs. Samplers, so they are actually working. They are actually the one who are hitting a website or getting the data. So these are done by samplers. Preprocessors, post-processors, any activity you want to do before the samplers, let's say. So in simple case, you want to connect with the database, or after the test case is executed, you want to close the database. So all these type of activities can be handled by pre and post processors. Assertions are need to check the data you have received from the script is true or false. So you put assertions to verify if your script would pass or fail. Assertions are the reports you can add. So there are number of reports, very good reports provided by JMeter. So you can add the report as according to your needs, what type of graphs or let's say data you want to see or check for your test scenario. You can save this. So either you can click on save, or you have a save option here. You can see here, you can click on save here, your script is saved. And as we have seen how you can load it, let me first create a new, and how we can load it, we can click on open. This was our JMX file, overview JMX file, click on open and you will see your file is open. Okay, so this was a quick overview of JMeter components. Also you will find run option here. So by this clicking, your test script will start executing and you will find this clear option. Using this clear option, your result would be clear for the next test run. We'll be seeing this in the when we're running our test scenarios. We'll be seeing how we can start, stop a test plan. So for now, we'll be adding some items in a test plan. So don't think what are these and why these are and why we are not explaining this. We will be explaining each of them, everyone in detail. But in this lecture, our main objective is to show the function of this start, no pauses, thread, clear one, and the stop section, what actually these are. So we'll be showing this. Our objective is not to go through components of JMeter here. So this is defaultly a test plan. I will add a thread group. Thread group tells that number of how to create number of virtual users and how many virtual users need to create. Inside that, I will add a sampler and I will just add a Java request, and also I will add simply listeners. Listeners are used to generate the reports. I will use result tree. So this is my basic request. So this is my request. In this, I am not doing anything. I am just running a JavaScript and getting the report. Now let me try to run this. When I try to run this, it gives me an error saying that you should save your test plan before running it. I have not saved this test plan. So I want to save it. Yes. So I want to save it here. I will give start and stopping. I have named this at start and stopping.jmx file. So it is executed because I have executed once and there was an error. I save it, so it automatically executed. So you can see here in the result, you won't find, I said that whenever you kept on a left panel, accordingly the right panel changes. So this is my Java request. This is the right panel for it. Okay. And when I clicked on usability, accordingly it is updated here. I want to run this test case again. So how I can do this? I will again click on this run option. When I click on this, it is again executed, but old result is not deleted. So how I can make sure that the old result is deleted? Through this clear options. When I clear this, all previous result from the listener is deleted. Now if I run this, you will see a Java request again. Now let me put some, as we say in a thread group, you can control how many users you want to put on a system for load testing. Let's say I want to test with 2 users. Okay, let me clear the old result, save the file, and now if I see, you will see 2 requests are being sent to the server. So similarly, you can control how much load you want to put on the server. Here you can see 0/2. It represents the number of threads you will be using in this test script. If I clear this and if I run this again, you will see the current number of threads in execution are being shown here. Just see 112 it shows. Let me increase the load here, let's say 10. Clear the old record and let's see now. You will see here it executed from 1 to 10. And you are also seeing that now it is showing us 1 second. What it means that all the requests were executed within 1 second. Let me put it this as 100. Save this plan and go to tree. Clear the result. Now if I run this, you will see it is increasing and then it decreased and all the requests again executed in 1 second. Let's put a stand here and I put a ramp down here at as 20. Don't think what it is, what I am doing it. I am covering this thread group in later section detail. So just my motive here is to show you that how this working is going on. Let me save this, clear the old result, and if I now run this, you can see one request coming, going, one request coming, going. You can clearly see here total 10 requests and the number of current requests is shown here. You can see the execution time here. It is being increased. So it will go till 20 seconds and then it will stop. Okay, so it stopped in 18 seconds, right? I will run again this. Now you can see here two options, start and start with a cancel symbol. If you click this stop, what it will do, it will stop the execution. That is the current request which was being executed. It will complete that request and then it will stop. On the other hand, this stop will shut down it automatically. No matter your request was sent, response has been received or not, it just shut down your test execution. While this stop, it completes the request which was sent and then it stops. This is for saving. This is saving as select option. So this was all. So I think that's all we will be needing in our JMeter tutorial series. So in the next section, we will be running how we can record and playback our JMeter scripts. Thank you.